All right, today we're taking the fuel pump out of a 99 Lexus ES300. First step, lift up the seat. I've already unclipped it, but you just pop it up and you see these little hooks snap in to a hole on each side. Pretty simple. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pry off. It's got like a black butyl tape under that ring, so we're gonna pry that off, and then go ahead from there. Say when.
When?
When. Let's take a little pry bar and work it around there. This has been off before. It's not stuck real tight. Alright. Now, maybe lift that up. And we see, I don't know if you can zoom into that any, where the electric is connected. Right here. So I'm just going to disconnect that. Oh, it looks like it has like a flip top cap. Let's go ahead and pause it. Let me figure out how to pop it off. Alright. It is just a squeeze and pull. It's just a weird looking thing at the top. It looked like it disassembled, but it doesn't. It's just squeezed the tab, but the tab is very hard to push. So I just used a flathead screwdriver and pushed real good and tight up against that, and it popped right out. That's what it looks like. Okay. So now, set that aside, and we have to remove this safety bracket that's holding on, that's covering up where the fuel line attaches inside. So let's see what size bit that is. It's an 8. Our lucky day. I brought the right bit. There we go. Snap release. I wonder if all of these are 8s. They are. That's good. Alright, so 8mm. And we'll take these out. Oh, previous person, he apparently stacked some washers on here. Must have had trouble with one of the screws, so I don't want to lose that. There we go. These are kind of short screws. See why they stacked washers for what they had. All right, so bring your camera in here a little bit closer. We'll count up the screws. So this lifts off of there. We got that one we just removed. So take note that it's these positions. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. And here's the fuel line. So make sure you have a rag to catch any spray, and wearing safety glasses. All right, gotta be safe. And you see these two little tabs here? Squeeze those in and then pop the line off. And then pop that line off. There we go. All right. It might be under some pressure, but since this pump ain't working, I doubt that it's under any pressure here. And yeah, there's very little coming out of that. All right, so now don't want to lose that, and thankfully it doesn't drop in there like some vehicles do, so that's great. Now we will want to have it clean around the hole before we actually start removing the screws that hold the pump in. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to wipe this all down and clean it up, and we'll come back to you and we'll take out these screws and pop it out. All right? You paused? Once we cleaned up around it, we'll start removing the screws. Just break it loose there. We'll go ahead and break them all loose and then come back and get them. last one. I smell gas. All right. These tiny little screws. All right. Go ahead. Okay. Now, we got our screws out. I have a little bucket here because they're going to have some spillage. My aching back. Okay. All right. And we just slowly. There we go. Oh yeah. Full tank. Every time, fuel pumps seem to always go out with a full tank. All the way full. Alright, so let's carefully lift it out. Gotta get it. It's got a little bowl floating in here full of gas. It's kind of dripping out. I'll let that kind of ooze out its little weep hole to eliminate some of my spillage. Carefully get it out of there. That bucket ready. All right, we've extracted our fuel pump assembly. Now, just to keep stuff from falling in there, I'm just gonna set this over on top of that a little bit. Make some of the dust fall. Okay, now we'll go into disassembly. You can pause it. All right, so here we are. That's the retaining ring that we just took off. Rubber O-ring that sealed it. Looks like it's in good enough shape. I don't think the new. All we got is a pump assembly. By the way, Lexus does not make or sell a whole pump assembly like other vehicles do. All we could get, you can get the parts, the components, but not the whole pump assembly. This is like internal filter, pressure regulator. And, you know, we're replacing the sock in the pump today. So, but you see how easy it is to come out. It's not a worry if you have to pop it out again. So, first things first is we're going to unplug the pump itself. And just look for the tab to push. And there it is. I'm going to grab a flathead screwdriver just a second. I'm just going to lift up on that a little bit. Actually, be better. Something to kind of get that tab up. My eyesight isn't what it used to be. Let's pause it for a second. Alright, apparently it squeezes from both sides, but I can't squeeze it from both sides until I take it off the tube. So we're going to take it off the tube first, and let's just get some pliers and work the work the little clamp and pop it out. Alright. So, let me get some regular pliers. Pause it. Okay, go ahead. Just raise that clamp up. And we'll kind of slide this baby out of here at the bottom. See how that kind of slides out of there? This little rubber foot. It's probably reused if your pump doesn't come with one. A lot of pumps don't, the cheaper ones don't. So then that gives you the flexibility to pull the pump out. twist. Hold on to this hose. Give it a little twist. Break that adhesion in there. Theoretically, we'll pull it right out of there. Okay, so anyway, twist it out. Now we can unplug it. Squeeze those two tabs. Theoretically, push that down. Oh, there it is. Whew, boy, that's hard to figure out when it's in there and you can't see when you're blind like me. All right, so there's the old one. All right, this is missing a little retainer ring right at the bottom there. Okay, now we're gonna get the rest of this hose off because we're gonna replace that. But I didn't take that off at first because the positioning of the clamp is awkward to get to. So you gotta be careful not to break off these little plastic tabs because getting this is not going to be an easy thing to do. So let's see what I can come up with tool wise. Maybe I can get some needle nose and slide them up in there and get that. Pause and be right back. So then just kind of see what we can get a hold of for these stinking clamps. These are cheap clamps too, my goodness. I mean, it's bending just from squeezing it. I don't like these clamps. Cheap, 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 cheap. Alright, so that should be enough to slide this old tube off. There we go. Trying to be gentle with because you don't want to damage your fuel level sensor. Yeah, we're just replacing that little fuel line, and the new box has in it chunk of hose, two little twisty clamps. This is the Delphi part number. Okay. Paperwork saying caution. If it blows up on you, it's not our fault. Okay. All right, so clearly we're gonna have to remove the cap at the bottom to put the new strainer on, but I'll wait until I have the strainer out of the pack. And we're gonna remove this cap up here before we shove it in there, the new hose on. I'm gonna double check, make sure everything fits, and looks like size wise they're the same, even if the bodies are different. The overall size is the same. Same on the bottom, same plugs, everything's in the same spot, so this should fit. Should be nice. All right, so let me get out my with it. So we'll use the new foot when we put it back together. Get out the sock. This is the part number. It was AutoZone. It was Spectra Premium is what it was. Part number. Let's see what we got in here. It's got that little tiny retaining ring that this one was missing. There should be a little bit that snaps on to there to make sure the sock doesn't come off. So we'll make sure, of course, before we try to pop that in, we'll pop the green safety tab out of that as well, and then it'll snap on. So we'll pause it. I'll get this out of the back. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my hoses, the clamps. It's good and tight. end of the nipples there. Get our clamp all the way down where we're going to want it. I'm going to spin it around so it's easy access for the screwdriver. Theoretically, once it's in there, yeah, you should be able to get a screwdriver in there. Good and snug. That ain't coming off. Don't forget to put your other clamp on before you try to stick it up on there. All right. Popping that little clamp out, little poppy off there. Yeah, that's gonna go on after I get the sock on, which I set right here. Okay, just pops right on there. Give some wiggles until it's fully seated. Let's see. A little tap tap. Okay, I think we're on there all the way. Let's see. The package came with 2 different retaining rings. I think the smaller one is the one that's going to fit our application. If I can pick it up. See a tiny little thing there. I'm all thumbs. I got it here. I get it. Little hook comes in handy. Dropping it, like I said, is probably the reason why the other person didn't have it. Now, come on. Be good to me. I grabbed, what is this? Random bit. 3/16 socket. That seems to fit over the hole good. I use that to kind of press it on. And pressed it on nicely. Now when you go to change this later, you just take a flathead screwdriver or whatever and you just get it, do whatever you gotta do to pop it off. But for now, that's secure. Okay? Alright. Now, this is going to go in there like so. In some sort of manner. Kind of wedges in. Make sure you got your clamp on. And let's wiggle it. I'll drop that for now. Wiggle it onto the tube. Being careful not to break it. Seems like it's pretty tight fit. Slide that down some more. Wiggle jiggle. So when you're pushing all that on there, be careful not to bang and bend up your anything. So I'm kind of just hold it carefully. And now we can put our foot back on and slide it in its home. It's the old one? Yeah, that's the old one. There's the new one. Not that it really matters, I'm sure. Man, that was the new one. They're the same, I think. This one actually looks a little smaller. But, all right. Get it in there. It's got the bendy to it. I might need to shove it in some more. Okay, here's what I did wrong. Don't make the same mistake as me. Push that all the way up. That way it'll fit in there. If it ain't on all the way, it ain't on. So now, theoretically, it should fit in there. We slide it back into its spot. And everybody be happy. Smells like gas. I think I said that before. Okay. That's a little damper there. Okay, now we'll spin that clamp around where we can actually have access to remove it. Actually needs to be loosened up just a little bit. Just to get it up there. There we go, there's the end of the nipple, right there in the middle. I love how simple this is. Being able to go straight in from the under the seat is awesome. Much better than having to drop a full tank of gas. All right. Which I probably could have done that sooner, but I didn't, so here I am struggling with it now. Live and learn, right? Try to hold it straight. Get my fat fingers in there. Come on. This should be the easy part. Stick it in there. There we go. Click. So we know we're good. All right. These filters are ridiculous expensive. I think when we looked them up, they were like 130. Is that right? Is that right? Camera person? Just for the filter part. Kind of crazy. All right, so now we're ready to put it back in. All right. Can you see me seeing you? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah.
All right, this front seat is really in my way, making it hard, so I'm gonna slide the seat forward. Here we are. Whew. Getting loads of drag, but it sure beats the alternative. All right, well, I'm a clean nut, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off all this dirt off the top before I stick it back in.
There's extra.
Okay, I'm good. I just wanted to get the bulk of that because, like I said, I'm a clean nut. This ain't gonna affect nothing. Okay. All right, there. Now, maybe I can get my knee down in the hole here. Oh, that's much better. Whew. Okay. Let's flip that up. Lighting. It's important, but it's not. But it is. Okay. Let's look inside your tank and see how clean your tank is while we're here, just for fun. Well, at least the well that the pump sits in doesn't look dirty and funky. So, yeah, not too shabby. All right. We're just going to fish it back in. Remember, we got all this stuff here. We're going to put it in, and we're going to tip it forward like that. And then remember, our fuel line is facing forward, so it'll be kind of like sitting like this. Okay? So here goes nothing. Oh, where's my retaining ring? We'll need that. I can put it on later, but I'll put it on now too. All right, now's a good time to double check. We did tighten our clamps. I'm pretty sure. We watched me do that. And sock is on. We got a clean hole that we're sticking it in. It's always good to have a clean hole. So I'm told. And then put our retaining ring in. Start popping in some screws. So line up our holes. Bring it on over here. Just get on top of it. Spin this a little bit.
That's too much light.
Too much light. Oops. Back the way it was.
Yeah.
All right, just want to be able to find our holes. Line them up. Okay, there we go. There's holes. So come on, bring it over. You can see we lined up our holes. So just got to do a little finagling. Being so tiny, screws are hard to. I done lost my hole again. Okay, line that up. Patience. Get them hand started. Once you get one going, it'll make it easier now to find the rest of them. And then I'll do another. So now, I left out the 2 holes for this. I haven't plugged in the fuel yet, but just plug in the fuel. Bring it around. Line it up. Little tabs and click it. Now the fuel line's attached, all right? And we go through and we tighten them, but when you're tightening, you don't necessarily need to crank down till there's no tomorrow. Just make it, because they're teeny tiny threads. Oh, look, one of them done popped off. I'm gonna have to get a magnet and fish it out. All right, so on to the next. Oh, see, that one didn't hold. All right. Every other, make sure you, these teeny tiny threads, you gotta make sure you got plenty of thread on it. Opposite to the opposite sides. That one there feel like it didn't want to capture. I'll try that again in a second. Yeah, it was there and then it's not. So I didn't tighten any of these down yet. Gradually learn from the first mistake. Gradually work your way around it. Okay. Man, my foot hurts. Here's our screw with the stack of washers. Put it back where we got it from.
That light is really, like, I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry. How about that?
A little better.
Okay.
Super bright. All right.
All right. I can also. There we go.
That's better.
There you go. Sorry about that. All right. And tighten. All right. Now we can do some real tightening, because we got them all started except for that one missing screw that I got to replace. And I'm still not ramming them down. I'm just getting them slightly snug. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we'll plug her in. he said with confidence, like it was going to go right in. Of course it wouldn't. That would be too easy. All right, I'm gonna loosen all these back up again because this is too close to the edge of the metal plate. So I gotta loosen them up so I can spin the filter underneath it a little bit, just a hair to the front, and then I'll be able to plug it back in. So let me know.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyway, it only shifted it a millimeter, but that's all it needed. Get down on there. Whoever's previously here messed up the clip on it. Doesn't want to. I didn't feel it click, but it don't want to lift right out, so it's in there. We're connected. Now, see this little notch in the metal right here? That lines up, it's like give you the design and the shape. That's where that tab goes, and it really only fits one way. And then we just hope that butyl tape. It's just got a little nub there for that too. That old butyl holds the seal out the weather. You can re-silicone it, I guess, or get more butyl. But it's on there. Snugga dugga, it's in. Now we'll put the seat in. And when you put the seat in, make sure you got your seat belts up so they're not trapped underneath. Slide that in there. Is there another one out here? Nope, that's already slid up. All right, make sure we get our trash out. I want to prime it. Let's listen for it to go. I'm gonna close the door so I don't hear the chime going. All right, now let's listen for that pump to prime. I didn't even hear it prime. Yeah, I'm not even hearing it prime. But there we go, we started up. This is quiet. It's actually quiet, which is good. Good to go. 186.
Did the engine light go out?
No, not yet. 186,934 miles. Seems to work here. Turn it off. Is that how long it usually took to start?
Yeah.
All right then. So we'll put the seat back in now. This will be real easy. We'll show you that in just a second here. All right, putting the seat back into the 99 Lexus ES300 back seat. Okay. Just want to make sure, see your seat belt comes through the crack there and over there. Crack in the thing there. You got that little seat belt buckle. Slide them back in there. And then click, click. And then to remove it, it's just a matter of pop on both sides. Did you see that, or the back of my head?
Do it again.
Okay, so it pops in. Here to pop, and then get it out. You know, you just yank on both sides. There we go. It's done.